Hi guys, today we're actually going to talk about markup and discount, and the essential question we're using is how can you use proportional relationships to solve real-world percent problems. So we're still working with percents and we're still working with proportions. So the question you're going to be asked at the end of the lesson is, if two stores purchase chairs for $150, store A marks the chair up 5%, store B discounts the chair 5%. What are each of their selling prices? So let's talk about finding selling prices. So to find a selling price, if a store pays $42 for a pair of inline skates, and then they're going to mark it up because they're not going to sell it to you for what they bought it for. So they're going to mark it up 25% so that they can make a profit. In order to do this, you need to find the amount of the markup first. So the whole is $42, the percent is 25, and you need to find the amount of the markup or the part. So we're going to let M represent the amount of the markup, and we're going to use, in this problem, we're going to use the percent equation. So now I know the whole times the percent is going to give me the part that I'm going to mark up. So M equals 25% as a decimal is 0.25 times 42, which is the whole. And when I do that, I get 10.5. So the markup cost is going to be $10.50. What they do then is they say, well, we want to make $10.50 on this item. So they have to take what they purchased it for, $42, and mark it up by adding on that $10.50 to get the selling price of $52.50. If we wanted to find this another way, we could use the percent equation still without having to do any adding. What we would do is use the percent equation, but instead of saying we're going to find 25%, we're going to say they're going to sell their item for 100% of what they bought it for, plus 25% that they're adding on. So really they want to get 125% of the price. So let's let P equal the price and use the same equation. P being the part, or what it's going to be after that 125% markup. Turn 125 into a decimal, 120% into a decimal, so 1.25 times 42, which is the whole. And if you'll do that, you'll notice that you actually get the markup price, the selling price, without having to add. So there's two methods that you can use. You can choose whichever one you'd like. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and find the selling price if a store pays $68 for a portable DVD player and the markup is 35%. Pause the video and do this in the work section of your WSQ. Okay, let's check your work. You should have gotten $91.80 using either the first or second method that we went over. Now let's talk about sale price. And a sale is what you get when you mark something down. So the summer sports is having a sale. A volleyball has the original price of $59, and it's on sale for 65% off the original price. So find the sale price of the volleyball. Well, using the first method, you would find the amount of the discount. So if the percent is 65, the whole is 59, let D represent the amount of the discount, or the part that you're going to pay. Turn your percent into a decimal and multiply it by the whole, and you would get $38.35. That is how much the store is going to subtract or take off of their selling price. So you would then take that $59, subtract $38.35, and that would give you $20.65, which is what you would have to pay for the volleyball. Now using method 2, we could find the total percent first. So if they're taking off 65%, that means instead of paying 100%, you're paying 65% of what they're asking less. So you could subtract that first, and you know that you are only going to pay for 35% of what the original selling price was. So we really need to find 35% of 59, and that's what you are going to pay for 35% of it, because they are taking off 65%. So let's let S represent the part that we're going to pay. 35 as a decimal is 35 hundredths, and we're going to find 35% of $59, which is $20.65. So using this method, I don't have to go back and subtract my answer from the original, because I've already done the subtraction up here with the percents. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and answer this question in the work section of your WSQ. Then restart the video. Okay, let's check your work. You should have gotten $66.75. Now let's talk about what happens if we know the selling price, but we don't know what the original price was. So if Henrik had a 25% discount on hockey equipment, the selling price that you would pay is $172.50. What was the original price? Well, to do this, if the amount of the discount is 25%, the selling price was 100% minus 25%, or 75%. So you would all you would need to do is find 75% of the original price is $172.50. So let's represent the original price. Okay, so we have a real little simple interest formula where we have $172.50 over R, the original price that we don't know. This $172.50 represents 75% of the original price because it's been marked down 25%. I don't know the original amount, but I know that that was 100% of what they were originally asking for. So I'm setting up a simple proportion here. This is the part over the whole, which I don't know, equals the percent that I paid, 75% over 100. Find cross products, multiply to simplify your equation, and then I would divide both sides by 75 to get $230. So the original price was $230. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and answer this question in the work section of your WSQ. Then restart. We've got one more thing to go over. Okay, your answer should have been 85 cents. One last thing we're going to talk about is finding the total cost of something. So Cody's buying a ring that had an original price of $295, but it's advertised at 30% off. Sales tax of $8 and 25% is applied to the discounted price. So the question is, how much will Cody pay for the ring? Well, the first thing Cody needs to do is find the discounted price. So you can use any method, either find 30% of $295 and then subtract that amount, or if you know $295 is 100%, you're taking off 30%, that means you're going to pay 70%. So find 70% of $295. And here's how we do that. 70% is a decimal, multiplied by the whole will give us the part that we're going to pay. So the discounted price is $206.50. But now we need to add tax to that. So what we're going to do after that is find what the tax amount is. So we are paying 100 plus 8 and 25% of this amount because I'm adding on 8 and 25% to that. So I can use 108 and 2500% and find that to get the price. But now I'm taking 108 and 2500% of the discounted price. So I go back to my answer from step 1, turn my percent into a decimal, multiply that by, that's the whole amount that they're asking me to pay. I get my part that I pay, 223.53625, but we know that money never goes out that far in decimals, so we need to round to the nearest cent, which brings that 3 up to a 4, and Cody pays $223.54. Now it's your turn. We're done with this video, so when you finish this problem, which I will give you the answer to, so hit play real quick again after you solve the problem in the work section of your WSQ. Don't forget to answer the summary questions, and don't forget to ask any questions you have in your composition book. And here's the answer.